How you guys doing? Good. Day one, right? Awesome, awesome. It's great to be at a Young America's Foundation conference. Young America's Foundation is always on the cutting edge of introducing young people to conservative ideas and then ensuring that you have those ideas and you have an availability to really go ahead and ricochet those ideas on your campus, certainly when you're in high school at your school, and then when you're in college, in whatever college you decide on attending. You like the Chris Rock video? Yeah. Yeah, you know, it's funny, Chris Rock actually, the cameras didn't catch it because he tried to smash it. So the volume went off, but he wanted to fight me afterward. He was conveniently standing behind two bodyguards, and was like, one of them's right in front of him, and he's like lunging over his shoulder. He's like, "You want to fight? Let's throw down right now." In addition to a bunch of other expletives coming out of his mouth, and the guy's like super skinny, like 100 pounds skinny, and I'm like, brother, you seriously, man, you don't want to fight. And of course, behind two bodyguards, but definitely skinnier than I expected, which is, I guess, what drugs do to you. Well, I want to be honest with you. I want to be honest with you. There are two things that keep me awake at night. Two things. Number one is the gut-churning thought of another 4 years of Barack Obama. The second is the fear that next season's Dancing with the Stars will feature Janet Napolitano. Oh, you guys have no taste. Come on. Doesn't she look kind of like a bowling pin with a toupee on it? Right? I kid. But Barack Obama, another 4 years, I'm dead serious about that. The country just can't handle it. If you look back what Barack Obama has done, he's done more than even his committed Marxist dreamed possible. Let's see. He's racked up more debt than the first 41 U.S. presidents combined. That is from George Washington to George W. Bush. H.W. Bush. He's racked up more debt. In just 2.5 years, as President Barack Obama actually racked up more deficits than George W. Bush in all 8 years combined. And George W. Bush was fighting 2 wars. Barack Obama had more deficits in just 2.5 years than George Bush did in all 8 years. You see what also he's done? He socialized health care, which the Congressional Budget Office says is going to slay some 800,000 jobs. But more importantly, for young people, for us, it's going to raise our premiums. Why? Because in Obamacare, there's tucked away some provision that says insurance companies can no longer vary price according to one's age or health status. That means insurance companies look at us, they see young, healthy individuals, and they say, well, you got to pay the same rate as your parents and your grandparents. It's a huge redistribution of wealth from young to old, and yet the left just celebrates it. What else do we have? Youth unemployment. Youth unemployment at historic highs. You have almost doubled the national average with those 18 and over. And you look at teen unemployment. Many of you are in this category, if not all of you. And only 30% in America right now, for summer employment, only 30% of teenagers are employed. 30% of teenagers are employed. Why? Because employers are saying it's too expensive in this down economy, the economy that we're supposed to have been recovering now for 3 years since the stimulus package passed. It's still too expensive to hire young people. Pretty much the Obama presidency has been a disaster. Barack Obama is currently less popular than a sexually transmitted disease. But yet you still may say, well, Obama, no chance. I mean, there's no way he's going to reign in the Oval Office another 4 years with this record. And I say not so fast, because Barack Obama and the left are counting on a secret ally, an ally that helped him get into the Oval Office in 2008, boosted him into stardom from real obscurity, and is really the biggest industry in America. We hear a lot in Washington, D.C., about super PAC money, and you hear about the evils of Wall Street and lobbying, but yet the left is always silent about the biggest industry in America that's on Barack Obama's side, and that is Hollywood. Hollywood not only can sell an individual on the big screen, but also they can help with mega fundraisers, as was that mega fundraiser George Clooney hosted within the last 2 months for Barack Obama, a fundraiser that poured in $15 million in just one evening. Just one evening, $15 million. And Barack Obama is hoping that Hollywood is going to have the same effect that it did in 2008. In fact, Hollywood is counting on Barack Obama. They have an allegiance to Barack Obama. A man you may have not heard of, but you've certainly seen his movies, is Jeffrey Katzenberg. He is the DreamWorks Animation CEO. And he said this: "I have a dependency on Barack Obama. We must keep fighting for him so he can keep fighting for us." Hollywood is dependent, in their own words, on Barack Obama. And he loves them, and they love him, and that's how he launched into stardom. It goes back, to a little-known story, a story that I write about in Hollywood Hypocrites, and that is with an individual by the name of David Geffen. A name that may not ring a bell, but again, you've seen his movies. He's part owner of DreamWorks. And David Geffen and Bill Clinton back in the 90s, I mean, they were tight. They had an Uberman crush on each other. When David Geffen was in Washington, D.C., he would spend his time in the Lincoln bedroom. When Bill Clinton was in California, he would crash at David Geffen's pad. But then Bill Clinton did what was considered unforgivable. And that is, he granted a pardon to a fugitive financier by the name of Mark Rich, but he refused to grant a pardon to a guy by the name of Leonard Peltier, who was a radical in what's called the American Indian Movement. Leonard Peltier is serving consecutive life sentences for aiding and abetting the execution-style murders of not one but 2 FBI agents. Now, there's nothing that excites the left more than cop killers. Just look at Mumia Abu-Jamal out in Pennsylvania, who's been on death row for more than 30 years now, and the left still has their Free Mumia posters every time there's some type of rally, even if it has nothing to do with Mumia Abu-Jamal. But David Geffen was fuming mad. He said, "You know what? I'm done with Bill Clinton. I need to go searching for a true blue, dyed-in-the-wool progressive." And he found that person in Barack Obama, someone who was committed to the ideology of progressivism. And that's why he started to organize star-studded fundraisers for Barack Obama. That's why Barack Obama just out of nowhere started to appear on the couch with Oprah Winfrey. He was on set with Ellen DeGeneres dancing. He was granting exclusives to Rolling Stone, holding concerts with Dave Matthews. He was the American Idol candidate. And for someone like David Geffen, it paid off in big dividends. He was granted exclusive access to the White House. David Geffen, there he is, with the arrow pointing to him. By his side is Michelle Obama, the food witch, ready to pounce on any non-organic items. And this was at the first State Department dinner for the Prime Minister of India. And there is Prime Minister Singh wearing a sweet-ass turban. Hollywood committed to Barack Obama committed to Hollywood. And the loons are going to stop at nothing to try to have another 4 years of him. That's why we got to muzzle Hollywood. And when I say muzzle Hollywood, I don't mean muzzle in the way the left does. And the left tries to silence dissent. They don't want to have a debate on different ideas and let a person come to their own conclusion. That's not what I mean. I don't want to muzzle them that way. What I want to do is analyze their public stances, their public proclamations, and see, do they actually live by the set of policies they seek to inflict on the rest of America, or are they engaged in high-wattage hypocrisy? You and I deserve to know. Well, let's start out, shall we? With we have Meg Ryan here. No, that's not Meg Ryan. That's John Bon Jovi. Now, John Bon Jovi actually is appointed to the White House Council on Community Solutions. Whatever the hell that means, I do not know. But he's a presidential appointee. He is not just a cheeseball rocker from the 80s. It turns out that he is a bee farmer. Now, why is this important? In the state of New Jersey, if you are classified as a farmer, you get to write off 98% of your property taxes.